If you say to him, John, you didn't message me. You're supposed to message me. He says in his mind, why do I have to message her? I'm not even dating her. He's going to pull away and you're going to look like a fool and you're going to feel even worse about yourself. You're going to feel like shit. Anytime you show anyone that they have emotional influence on you, they have the power. The person that doesn't have any charge towards someone or anything is the most powerful person ever. I don't know why you feel the need to express your negative emotions to a man that is not your husband. You are turning a man off and also giving him access to your hurt when he's not even earned it. And this is like one of the biggest mistakes that I see women making. And this comes from like an unhealed aspect of ourselves and a place where we're trying to control the outcome. And we think if we're getting angry at a man, it's going to influence him to change. And in fact, what it does is it tells him how you feel about him and it gives him all the power and it takes away his desire to pursue you. This emotion is so influential with men and it can only work when it's a man that's your husband or a man that is like deeply committed to you and deeply obsessed with you. I see so many of you getting angry at men, getting upset at men, showing that you are like desperate for their attention when this man is like not calling you, not pursuing you, not setting up dates, not committed to you. And instead of like taking a step back and honoring your own hurt, being with your own feelings, and this is why I stress healing so much and why I've made my inner work course so affordable. Because when you learn how to be intimate with your own hurt, you're not going to regurgitate your negative feelings to a guy and you're going to actually be magnetic and attractive to him. Instead, what happens is he isn't doing what you want him to do. You want him to step up. And so you get angry at him. You think that by getting angry at a guy, it's going to somehow make him want you or it's going to like whip him into shape. If this is a feminine man, this might work because a feminine man is used to being smothered, he's used to being controlled. And so it gives him a feeling of safety in an adult relationship. He's going to naturally look for that. And even if he doesn't like that, he's going to be gravitated toward that. These dynamics are not healthy dynamics because as a woman, you don't want to be controlling. You don't want to get angry. It's a reflex that happens within us when we haven't healed from our own trauma. And then we attract partners that either will put up with it. These are the unhealed men or partners seem avoidant because what's going to happen is they're going to get turned off, right? What's happening is you're giving yourself away to him way too quickly. Any negative emotion. You cannot give a man your emotions, your negative emotions, or express any sort of discontent or any sort of negativity before commitment. And I would even probably take it further to say that before you know that a man is like deeply in love with you, because a man can say he's committed to you, but then his actions show that he's not because commitment for a man and the feeling you're going to have with a man when a man is deeply committed is you're not going to feel negative emotions towards him because he's always going to be moving towards you. When you're feeling these feelings of being confused and uncertain about how a guy feels about you and nervous and anxious, and then you want to go and express those feelings to him, he knows where you stand now. He has all the power and you're going to feel even worse. So even if in the moment it looks like, oh, it's like snapping him into gear and he's like all of a sudden setting up a date, that doesn't last. You're giving him this feeling of, I might lose her. And as soon as he sees that you're fibbing and as soon as he gives you what you want, you're still there. Over time, these behaviors start to turn him off. You don't want to give your negative feelings and you don't want to share your hurt. And this is really showing your hurt because it's your vulnerability. Your natural state is happy and light and fun and joyful. Hopefully, if you've done a certain level of inner work, your aura will be that, right? You'll feel that way about yourself. And this is how it should generally be with men until there's been like a deep level of commitment towards you. When there's a deep level of commitment towards you and a man is now showing you that he gets upset over things that you may do, I did not show my husband or my now husband any negative emotion or any negative feeling that I was having about him or the relationship until I saw how committed he was to me and until I saw that he was the one that was displaying negative emotions and getting upset about things. It's not a bad thing when a man is getting upset. It's a good thing because if a man is not getting upset, it just shows you he doesn't care. And when you're in a deeper level of a commitment with a guy, meaning now you know that this guy's really interested in you, you'll know this because he's going to get upset if you're not his. He's not going to get upset about like little things. I don't want to say he's going to get upset about a little things. If you're taking a step behind it, they're always going to want want to like get you to commitment before you're going to be ready for that. And if they're unhappy when you're going on dates still, it is unhealthy if a guy is expressing like interest in you within the first month and it is excessive. He's feminine and he's not healed. A man is not going to show you his level of emotions early on if he's a healthy masculine man. It's going to take a period of time. I think this was like months and months into our relationship where he was serious about me and we didn't have this official conversation until after he had really been committed to me and he wanted to take things to the next level, and he had already stopped dating, but I didn't know that. We didn't have a conversation about like we're stopping dating or anything like that. I just saw that he was being consistent over time. This is when you'll know that a man is like getting upset because you're behind him. So I never had that conversation with him and said, "You're not asking me out," or I never got mad at him if we had like days that we didn't communicate, because at that point we weren't in a relationship. So we would have days that we didn't communicate. There was a time where it was like a week and a half and I didn't hear from him and I never got upset because he's not my boyfriend. And why would I get upset with a guy if he's, first of all, why would I get upset? He's not my boyfriend. There's no commitment there. And secondly, why would I even show him that I'm upset? Because if I show someone I'm upset, they have the power. Why would I give the power away to someone? I would never do that. I would assess within myself, interesting, this guy's not around. Maybe he's not into me. There's no ego there. Maybe he's just not into me, and I would move on with my life. You have such an active ego that you're so triggered by what men do and don't do because you're not giving yourself that love. When you give yourself that love, you're not going to be triggered by the outside, by what a man is doing and not doing. And you're definitely not going to show him that you're upset. The moment you show someone that you're upset, they right away know that they have influence over you and they have power over you. And when it comes to like dynamics, in every relationship, there's a power dynamic. It doesn't matter what relationship. And this is just psychology. Anytime you show anyone that they have emotional influence on you, they have the power. Because the person that doesn't have any charge towards someone or anything is the most powerful person ever. And so you don't want to give your emotions, especially your negative emotions, to anyone that is not your husband, unless the dynamic with your husband isn't good. And then we have to restore the dynamic. And I can speak with you privately about that because every situation is different. Your husband should also be influenced by you. So when it's like intimate partnership of marriage, you're both going to be very sensitive to each other. And it should be that way. When this would happen, where it would be impacted by Peter's emotions or Peter would be impacted by my emotions, it was like frustrating because I would want Peter to not be impacted by my emotions. But of course, if a man really loves you, he's going to be impacted by your emotions and vice versa, because you both love each other and you're both trying to please each other. If a man is not impacted when you're upset, the man is just not into you. And so you only want to give your raw emotion to someone that you know is also very much attached to you and very much in love with you because they care. And so in their mind, even if they get upset that you're upset, because this is what will happen in relationships sometimes, they'll get upset that you get upset. It's not a bad thing because you know that they actually care about you. When you give your emotions to someone and your negative emotions to someone and they don't care, what's happening is you're giving your power away and they're sitting there thinking, oh my God, I have this person. They lose interest in you because it's just too easy. With men, especially when you're in a commitment with him, you don't want to show that you're angry. If he says he's going to do something and he doesn't do it, you can communicate in a neutral way that you didn't like something. And again, it depends on the nature of your relationship. If you're not in a committed relationship with you, he doesn't have to text message you. He doesn't have to call you. He doesn't have to do anything. So you got to check your expectation, got to manage your own ego, and you got to work with your own emotions because again, I'm trying to protect you, because if you go and you say to him, John, you didn't message me, you're supposed to message me. And he says in his mind, why do I have to message her? I'm not even dating her. He's going to pull away more and you're going to look like a fool and you're going to feel even worse about yourself. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel bad about yourself. Do not tell a man that he's doing something that he's upsetting you if he is not obligated to do anything for you. And by the way, even in marriage, in any dynamic, even a client relationship, marriage relationship, family relationship, there shouldn't be expectation, meaning people should be free to give to the other person from their own heart. This is what really makes successful relationships. I don't have an expectation of my husband, like, being with me, coming home after work, etc. I'm just an inviting person that my husband wants to be with me. We're best friends, and vice versa. He doesn't have an expectation that when the kids are around, I have more freedom and I can do whatever I want. I could go out with my friends. I could do all that. He doesn't have this expectation that, well, Fareen has to be home and parent the kids with me. Of course I do. I love being with the kids, but there's no expectation. He would like that. And I do it because I want to do that, because obviously I love the kids and I love Peter and I want to do that. But if there was an expectation that I had to do that, immediately I would be turned off and I would not be interested in that, because I don't want to be controlled. Anytime someone is doing something for you, this comes back to gratitude. You always want to be thankful. You always want to be in the energy of like thankfulness and gratitude, and not have expectations of people, because it's a turn off to men when there's this like obligation and expectation that they have to call you all the time, and whatever he does, you're always getting upset. It's not going to make him want to do more for you. It's going to do the opposite. And so you really need to check your own expectations. You got to manage your own ego in order for that situation to change. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Let me know what topics you want me to speak about. I love you. Bye for now.